All right, this is the tenor part for Someone Else's Cat. We're going to go ahead and run through all three sections, the introduction and the section 1 and section 2 parts. There will be some of the parts that have words that go with it. Those are just for us to learn the rhythms. You won't have to memorize those. You don't have to say those. But just be aware that I'm going to start saying these words to help you learn the rhythms of the song. That's all there is. We're going to go over some of the notes just to show you what we're doing here. The tenor part for Someone Else's Cat starts on C and G, and then you move your G over to your F, and then you move back to the G, and the C moves to the D. And you start again. It's C and G, and then over to the F, and then over to the G, and then that C moves to the D. So when you're going through it, I'm going to say the rests. There's a bunch of rests that happen here in the intro chords, and I'll eventually weed the rests out so you don't hear them anymore. Play them a couple times just so you hear how it goes, and then you can practice on your own. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest, rest. 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 There's the introduction chords. Section 1 is the same exact notes. The rhythm does change a little bit. So again, the notes are C and G, C and F, C and G, and then D and G. What I was using with my students to say these words for the rhythm was, I like fluffy cats, I like fluffy cats, I like fluffy cats. That is the rhythm that is the whole part of section 1 of the tenor part. So I'll say the words maybe with you a couple times, and then we can just play it together a few times. I like fluffy cats, 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 I like fluffy cats. That's all there is for section 1. Section 2, a little bit more complicated. I'll step you through the notes really quick. The first and third measures are exactly the same, so nothing different on those measures. And the very last fourth measure is, there's no real words for this because it's a simple 60-note pattern. So if you, on the very last measure, takatea, 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 if you do tika tika, that's fine too. 1 ienda, 2 ienda, 3 ienda, 4 ienda, that's fine also. Just as long as the rhythm is there, that's no big deal. So stepping through, you will notice that I've taken the D and the B bars off. So if you're playing this part throughout, it's easier, I think, to keep these bars off. That way, so you just don't have the confusion of hitting them. So we start on the C, and then it moves and it jumps over to the G, and then it moves over again, and it jumps to the E, and it goes to C, and then back to E, and then G. That's the first measure. So the words that I like to use for this, and I thought it was funny, but funny looking tabby cat. Say, funny looking tabby cat, that's a possum. So in all three measures are the same. Funny looking tabby cat, that's a possum. Funny looking tabby cat, that's a possum. Funny looking tabby cat, that's a possum. Tuckatea, 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 tuckatea. That's what we're dealing with. This part is harder, I think, so we're going to do it a little slower. Really slow. It's funny looking tabby cat, that's a possum. That's how slow I practiced it at the very beginning. Funny looking tabby cat, that's a possum. Nope. And when you get it going a little faster, and then we may speed it up from there. That's about how fast we'd get it. That's just the first measure. So you started on C, G, E, C, E, G, and that's where it ended. The only thing is different from this is the second measure, where instead of going here and you're skipping, we need this little A here. So you have funny looking tabby cat, that's a possum. So now you have the F and the A. So you start on the C. So you have C, 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 A, F, C, F, F, A. So that's the second measure. Right? And then it goes back and it does the first measure again, which is now back to the C and the G and the E and C. So, and then the last measure. That's it. So the whole thing. Funny looking tabby cat, that's a possum. And then you can keep going at that and take some time, work that out, speed it up. And if you can get it slow like that, that's great. And we will speed it up during rehearsals as fast as we can get it to sound great. That's all for the tenor part.